Hi, welcome back to Faith and Conviction. I'm your host, Ray Harris. I want to welcome you to this week's Torah portion. Again, we are in the book of Numbers, and we are looking at Torah portion 42. The name of it is Mattot. If I say that right, it means tribes in English. Again, we're in the book of Numbers, but the Hebrew name for Numbers is Bamidbar, which means in the wilderness or in the desert. Now, this portion comes from chapter 30. It's verse 1 or verse 2, depending on which translation you're looking at, all the way down to chapter 32, verse 42. So let's look at our keyword, and it's Strong's numbered to H4294. H4294. And Strong's helps us go over to look at Brown Driver Briggs, which gives us a meaning here of staff. Not like a personal staff, but a staff like you would use for walking, branch, also tribe. So in the King James Concordance, it's used about 248 different times. So it's in there several different times in the King James. And it's translated tribe mostly, or tribes in the plural, but staff and staves and a couple of other things. So it's actually very interesting. And this is important to us when we take a look at it and we see what's going on. So tribe is found in Numbers 31, verses 4, 5, and 6, and also as tribes down in Numbers 30 and verse 1. So we're just going to look at the key word here. Let's go to our verse, which is Numbers chapter 30, verse 1, and the King James translates it this way. And Moses spoke unto the head of the tribes, and that's our Hebrew keyword, concerning the children of Israel. Now, when we look at our translations, we always look at the Complete Jewish and the Jewish Publication Society. And then I talk about the Apostolic Bible Polyglot and the Greek Old Testament. So the Complete Jewish Bible, the Jewish Publication Society, and the Apostolic Bible Polyglot all work in the same way that the King James does and calls this word tribes into the English. Now the Greek on that is phulon, which is Greek number or Strong's number G5443. So phulon is a spelling variant of foulet. So G5443. Now Thayer tells us it means tribe, as in one of the 12 tribes. But remember, there are 13 tribes because the Levites aren't counted under certain rules, but they are a tribe, and in certain lists they are given there. So there are the tribe, but also think of it in a scope of the world, because there are tribes like tribes of people, and it's very interesting. So it doesn't have to be limited simply to the tribes of Israel. It can be different tribes of people located outside the nation of Israel. So when we're looking at it in the Greek New Testament, it's found, this word phule is found about 31 times, and it's always translated as tribe or tribes or kindred, or in the plural, kindreds. So those are different ways of expressing the idea of a household, or maybe an older term might be called a clan with a C-L-A-N. So it's interesting here. So we looked at the book of Revelation, and I wanted to go there to take a look at it because the book of Revelation takes this word phule and uses it as tribe, but also as kindred. And the only reason I bring this up is because when we're looking at the Greek, we see one word, but in the English we see two words. And so it's important that we understand this and we see the different ways in which it works, only because, as we've been seeing throughout all of this series, is that the choice of English words flavor the Hebrew. Now, it doesn't mean that the English flavors the Hebrew, but the Hebrew word itself can be represented by several different words in the English, and how we choose to represent it in the English flavors our understanding. So it's not really something that we're arguing about, but something we need to be aware of. So like in Revelation 7 and verse 4, it says, of all the tribes of the children of Israel. But we look over at Revelation 1 and verse 7, and it uses the word kindreds. All the kindreds of the earth. So I'll have more notes on this, so you can see it at the bottom of this page at faithandconviction.org. But the idea is that tribes are not just limited to Israel. There are tribes outside of Israel. And all of Israel is kindred because they are the 12 sons of Israel, who is Jacob, because God renamed Jacob. So they are kindred people. All of the Israelites are kindred, just like you can go outside of Israel and you can find people who are kindred. So this is very important, and it's just a word that we can see going from the Hebrew through the Greek Old Testament to the Greek New Testament over to the English. And we begin to see all these connective points. It is interesting, and it does help us in our studies, and I do hope that it's been a blessing to you this week. And until next time, continue to seek God, know Messiah, find hope.